Hello, everybody. Frank Kenny here. I am here with Connor Watkins. Connor, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, great. Thanks. So we're here at the Greater Lexington, South Carolina Chamber of Commerce. What's your role with the Chamber?
I'm the multimedia strategist with the Chamber, so I handle all of the social media, the website management, anything to do with the digital communications as well as printed.
Very good. Did you create this title for yourself, the multimedia? I mean, are you the communications and marketing guy?
I am.
Yeah.
Randy kind of gave that a little twist, just because he likes the term strategist, because as chambers we're constantly strategizing on how we can benefit our members. So
yeah, and we're in the age of digital, and you guys are using digital really well. Let me ask you, South Carolina, you've been walloped by weather. The hurricane blew in or came close enough to impact your weather, and you got tons of rain. Tell everybody, what's happened in your area with this weather event.
Well, specifically in Lexington, we've had some major issues in terms of the dam by the old mill breaking just because of the amount of water that it was not able to hold. So that trickled down not only to the businesses in the old mill, but also to a place called Gibson Pond Park, which is a really peaceful area that people like to go to. But now that's kind of been just demolished because of the water. So right now we're just working on plans to help the businesses in the old mill kind of recoup and come back to where they need to be, as well as working on ways to get just the quality of life to those areas like the park back to where they were.
How much rain did you actually get here in Lexington?
Oh gosh, I don't know exactly how much, but I'm sure it was 15, 20 inches.
Like biblical proportion.
Yeah, I mean it was historical to say the least, especially since the Midlands has not seen rainfall like that in, I believe Nikki Haley said 2,000 years.
Wow.
So
kind of crazy.
Yes.
So you have a member. It's called the Old Mill. Is that right?
Right. The Old Mill hosts a ton of members of ours, specifically like a brew pub, another restaurant called Creekside Restaurant, and some spas and shops as well.
And was there a rumor going around town that because of the flooding and the damage, the breaking of the dam, that was going out of business, or what was the scuttlebutt around town about this?
I think because in Lexington, everyone knew that the old mill had been affected so badly, and with the dam breaking, they just were unaware of what was going on. So of course, when you see a flood of that magnitude, the only thing to think is, wow, this business is going to be either closed for a long time or the old mill is going to be no more. So we had the owner reach out to us, and we posted something about that, just taking his words and showing the community that this is where they are, this is where they're going, and if they need any type of help, we'd like to give it to them.
Yeah, so a chamber member reached out to you and said, hey, we've heard people are misunderstanding our situation. We're going to open again. We're back in business. We got a lot of tenants here. So what did you guys do?
What we did is we told the member that we would help them. We took some of his words from his update just so we could be as specific as possible with the members of the community, and we put that into a post. I took a picture from the flood itself and just put damage control on it from Canva, and specifically titled the post itself Damage Control, just so everyone would know that this is coming straight from the source. This is where the old mill is in terms of their recuperation from the flood, and this is kind of like the timeline of repairs that will happen to open again.
And what was the response to the post?
The response was absolutely enormous. It's a response more than I've ever seen. We had about 33 comments as of right now, 232 shares so far, and about 25,000 reached.
Yeah, and you're in a community of, I heard about 130,000 maybe, or something like that. So you've reached a huge chunk of the community.
Right.
With this good news. And I read some of the comments. They were like, thank you so much for telling us, and thanks for the update. How come they weren't getting this news from the TV or the radio, the newspaper? I mean, what's the role of the chamber now, do you think?
I think the role of the chamber is to be the voice of the businesses that they represent, especially since a lot of times the chamber may have a bigger reach than the businesses themselves. It's important to give community members, especially about landmarks that they love, like the Old Mill, the information that they need so that they can have a little bit of a peace of mind about, okay, I'll be able to go back to that favorite booth that I have at that restaurant, or I'll be able to get my favorite cup of coffee at my local coffee shop just because I know that it's going to be back.
What do you think people are thinking about the chamber here? I mean, when you have such immense reach, 25,000 people with your next post, I'm sure a lot of members would just love, for that reach, or politicians or anybody trying to get anything done. It seems like it's put you in a really good place, I think.
Right. It really has. I think it shows our members that we are a source for the community, and the community does look to us. And so, especially when members can't always come to networking events and things like that, it also shows them that we have a reach with the community in the digital realm as well.
So, and you didn't just share their post. You actually took an image, worked on Canva, and you made an image that was very eye-grabbing. How long did that take you? Is that
probably just 5 minutes, and only because we had some posts that we had done about the flood prior, so I kind of just took the same template. But Canva's really easy, especially if you don't necessarily have a lot of design experience and you just need to get something quick for social media.
Yeah, and then the copy that you put, the text above the post, what was your strategy there?
My strategy was to honor what the owner had mentioned to us, be as specific as possible, but also tag the businesses that were mentioned in his words as well. So, tagging the Facebook pages of the Old Mill Brew Pub, Creekside Restaurant, and the Old Mill itself, which they all have one. But just to be as specific as possible, and to give as much information as I could to let the community know that this is where they are and this is where they're going to be in the next 2 weeks.
Fantastic. So you're a real source of news in your community now. If I was the newspaper or anything else that is out there trying to reach those same people, I'd be a little worried here, because it's just an immense home run. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So you were telling me that you've been working on your chamber's website. Is that new now? You have a new site?
Right, it is new. We launched it last Monday, and it basically took about 10 months to come to full fruition, just because we wanted to make sure everything that we were putting on that website was kind of necessary and equivalent with the goals that we had for the website too.
And what did you learn over these 10 months of creating a first-class website?
I learned that content linking is everything, especially with a website, and just being really mindful about how many members that you can incorporate into content for a website, especially when we are also a visitor center. So it makes us a bigger source for not only residents of Lexington, but also visitors and people thinking about relocating to the area. So it's even more important that we be mindful of our members and how we can share their businesses with those who come across it.
So the linking, explain more about that.
Linking specifically meaning how we can go to specific areas of our database that house certain members. Like, for example, we have a relocation section that is all about maybe the services you may need, if you need to find a realtor, if you need to find a school, and within those we link to particular categories in our database. So, for example, if you were looking for a personal service like a photographer or a pet shop, a pet groomer, we have a category specifically dedicated to that on our website. So all of that links to the place where they need to go to find the business that they need.
And that's to be convenient to the website visitor, to save them time, to save them effort, to drive them where you want them to go?
Absolutely, to drive them to the information that they need, not something that is unnecessary, especially for someone who is looking for something quick, whether it be on their phone or on their desktop, just to get them that information, make it easy to read, make it easy to get to, and not make it a struggle as far as navigation.
Are you using WordPress or some other management system?
We are using WordPress. We were using Dreamweaver prior to that, so now going to WordPress, not only is it something that people's eyes are necessarily familiar with, but it's also easier from a management standpoint, being able to update content quickly.
10 months is a long time. Why so long?
It is. I think it was a long time just because we wanted to make sure that every piece of the website was pretty much perfect for every single member of our team. So, for example, someone like me may look at it and say that it's fine, but from a member's perspective, Haley Anderson, one of our sales representatives, can really have the eye of the members in mind and can look at different pages and say, hey, we need to have this because I know that members frequently ask this question, or this would be a great place to place ads just because I know members are constantly looking for ways to get in front of, let's say, visitors or people thinking about relocating to the area. So having it be great for our whole team is why it took so long, and specifically just because we want it to be perfect for our members.
Perfect. What's the mobile strategy? Is it mobile optimized? Is it responsive design?
It is. It's mobile responsive.
Okay.
So it responds to everything from an iPhone to an iPad to the Samsung tablets to desktop itself.
Fantastic. So let's talk about this room that we're in here. I'm going to pan around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're in your building. You guys own this building. You
Yes.
did a capital campaign 3 years ago. Randy was telling me, your boss, the CEO. And you have this isn't the conference room. This is like a community room. Is that what you call it?
Yes, it's our Agape community room, and this is available not only for ourselves to use for any type of new member orientation we may have, but also for members and non-members to rent for any type of event they have. So we've had people host seminars here, and also I think we've also had like wedding receptions and weddings here as well. So.
And then your members are the caterers and the various, AV people. It all comes through the membership, huh?
Yes. So anybody who needs a particular, maybe like catering needs, or if they need a DJ or any type of audio or visual equipment, we always recommend members, and we have lists of those that we give to them when they rent the room.
And you make some pretty good money from renting this room, I would think.
We do. I believe members get 50% off renting this room, and normally it goes for $600.
Yeah, so that's a good chunk of change, and it's used fairly often, huh?
Yes, it's used very often. We have a B&I group that comes every Thursday. We also have churches that come every weekend, as well as Michelin likes to frequently host their seminars here as well. So it is used very frequently, and that helps, especially when we're looking to members to put their content out in the visitor center, and that way they get some traffic there as well.
And so you guys are the official visitor information center as well as the Chamber of Commerce?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So we house all of the information as far as maps, business cards of our membership, as well as anything that someone may need, like a local magazine or publication, just so that they can have an idea of what Lexington is all about, where we are right now, and where the vision plan is for the county.
And going back to your website, how did you differentiate between the visitor side of the website and the member, different target markets? How did you handle that?
Right. The visitor center we put specifically towards more of the we called it Eat, Play, and Stay. So we had a section devoted to eating, which lists all of the members of restaurants. We had Play, which has everything from information on where you can go to put your boat in on Lake Murray to some places for family fun. So for example, Lexington County Blowfish, which is a great stadium that was just built this year. One of the Riverbank Zoo and Gardens, which is in Lexington County. Also anything related to transportation as well. So really what we did was we kind of integrated our members into that visitor center section, just so that not only could we drive traffic to the places in the area of Lexington that are necessary for visitors to see, but also to drive traffic to their businesses.
What was your search engine optimization strategy, and how did you want the website to convert people into new members? Did you have like a join now button and feature? And
we do. We have a join now. We have a join now feature not only at the bottom but also at the top, and anything relating to membership as far as packages, why someone should join the chamber, or any other page that mentions membership or benefits, it always has a call to action to join.
Right. So a silent salesperson always working for you guys.
Right, and it's also just important so that when someone looks at this benefits and says, "Hey, I want to join immediately," then they don't have to search for some place where they can finally make the decision to join. It's right there, ready for them.
Let's talk about your chamber's email strategies. How often do you email your members?
We email our members once a week regularly on Wednesdays, and that is our e-newsletter. So all of the information, whether it be an upcoming event or ribbon cutting, to things necessary to update their listing with the database itself, all of that goes into the e-newsletter.
Do you do supplemental emails throughout the week if something's important or if something's coming up?
Yes, so for example, we have a LeaderCast follow-up seminar on October 30th, so we specifically sent an email to not only those who attended, but also people who may not have attended but may be thinking about doing it for this year. It gives them an idea of what LeaderCast is and gives them the opportunity to purchase a ticket.
So you have segments? You've broken your email list into segments?
Yes, specifically with that event, we had retention cards that we gave to all the attendees, so that way we knew who attended the event and we could contact them afterward.
Fantastic. Well, you're doing a great job here at the Greater Lexington Chamber of Commerce. And if people are curious about what you've talked about here, can they reach out and pick your brain, talk to you?
They can. Our website is lexingtonsc.org, or they can contact me, Connor Watkins, 803-359-6113.
Awesome, Connor. Thanks so much.
Thank you.